Thank you very much for being part and parcel of Metropole's Business AM this year, especially. This is the first week in business. All right, so let's talk about those New Year resolutions and goals that you've met for yourself and for your business. Now, New Year, new goals, and this means having a vision board. But what will make your New Year goals or resolutions succeed or fail? Well, joining us this year again to discuss this is an avid author and consultant, Dr. Mary Mughal. Dr. Mary Mughal, good morning.
Good morning, Simba. Good to see you in 2021.
Good to see you in 2021. So now I'm looking at what I'm supposed to ask you first, and I'm thinking myself, can I interpret it differently in this sense? People say Happy New Year, but it's not necessarily happy. I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily happy. Why can't we say Successful New Year?
I think, Simba, the first thing is, of course, is traditions. And
Yes.
As human beings, we always want to wish people well.
Yes.
And definitely, if you're successful, Simba, you'll be happy. If you have money, you'll be happy. So I believe when someone tells you Happy New Year, they are wishing you well. They are telling you to in the entire year, you need to succeed, you need to make money, you need to get married. If you are not married, all that is happy. So I think that's why they say Happy New Year.
All right, let me start from here. How important are resolutions, Dr. Mary Mughal? How important are they?
Thank you, Simba. If you don't know where you're going, if you don't know what you want, you'll never get there.
Yes.
And as they say, if you don't know where you're going, any road will lead you there. So it is very important in the beginning of the year to actually sit down and think through what exactly do you want to achieve this year. Because if you don't, then you'll be like someone who gets into a car and they don't know where they are going. And the car is full of gas, because all of us have some potential in us. So resolutions and goals are very important because they help you achieve your aims, they help you achieve your objectives in life. So it is actually, if you find a person who has no goals, who has no resolutions, it could be they don't know what they want or they don't know where they want to go. They're just living life in a way in my language, direct translation, they're just living life in a hua kind of thing. Whatever comes is fine, So resolutions are very important. Goals are very important in the beginning of the year, Simba.
Yes. Somebody's going to ask you, is a resolution the same thing as a goal?
They are related.
Yes.
It depends on how you look at them. You see, for companies who have goals, this is what we want to do this year. Human beings will also have goals or resolution. When you say you have a resolution, you're saying, this is what I want to do this year. You're saying, for example, this year I want to lose weight, just as an example. That's a resolution you have made. But it's also, now when you make that resolution, you've got to have a way of achieving that resolution.
Yes.
That is why you must be able to come up with something written. And allow me, Simba, to say that many of us have these things in our heads. They tell you, anything that is not written does not exist. In fact, even the good book says, write down your vision. When you write something, you get committed to it. So if you want to achieve anything this year, it is advisable you write it down. So they are similar. Let me say they are similar and related at the same time. Yeah.
All right. Now, somebody's going to ask you a question now. I have my goals, I have my resolutions. I mean, how am I going to live every day, therefore, to make sure that my personal resolutions for this year become a success?
Thank you, Simba. First and foremost, for you to ensure that your resolutions or your goals are successful, you must have the right goals in the first place.
Okay.
You see, the reason why many of us don't achieve our goals is because probably either we have the wrong goals, or number two, we have the wrong motive, or sometimes we've just written those goals or those resolutions for the sake of it. You see, Just because it is the beginning of the year, there are people who will write something just to show people that they have something. To go saying, this year I have 10 goals, I have 10 resolutions. But the question is, are those resolutions worth your time? Are those resolutions something that you can achieve? So as you make your resolutions, as you make your goals, you need to ensure they are specific, they are measurable, so that you are able to know exactly what is it that I'm going to do. Sometimes also, Simba, if you really have to achieve your resolutions, you must frame them the right way. Sometimes we don't frame the goals the right way. Sometimes we frame them negatively. For example, you hear someone saying that I want to stop eating junk food. It's a resolution, but it's very negative. Why not say I want to start eating carrots? So the way you also frame
is that sometimes where people never get to actually achieve it? That's just the framing and the approach around it, the negative approach.
Yeah, sometimes we do it so negatively because why would you want to say that my goal is to, just as an example, my goal is to stop eating hamburgers? Why not say my goal is to start eating carrots? Because when something is positive, simple, you get more motivated to do it. So the way you frame your resolutions, the way you frame your goals has a lot to do with whether you achieve them. Of course, you will not achieve your resolution simple if you do nothing about it.
Yes.
I normally say, because I'm a strategic person in terms of education, any goal, any resolution, or even strategy for that matter, is just a fantasy as long as it remains on paper. So you can do so many things, write great things on paper, but if you don't act on them, my friend, you will never achieve them. That's why people tell you, I'm going to lose 10 kilos this month, but they are eating, they are overeating, they are not exercising, and they are telling you, I'm really working hard. They are not working. I mean, you've got to put it in action if you've got to achieve your goal. And of course, you must believe in them. I think many people don't achieve their goals because they don't believe in them. They're just writing them because their friends are doing it. Maybe Simba, all your friends got married last year, so your first goal is to get married. You just do things because people are doing them. You'll never achieve. So it is important for you to believe in what you're writing. Do you believe that you will do what you're saying you will do? And very, very important, Simba, they must be relevant to what you're doing. They must be relevant in your life, Don't have resolutions or goals to make people happy, so that people can be very happy to hear that I'll do this and the other. Make sure they are relevant to what you're doing. So those are various ways that you can make sure that what you're really doing actually succeeds. Yeah.
There's something very important that you're mentioning, and I'm sorry to take you back, Doctor. You're saying that you gotta write them down. If it's something that you believe in, if it's something that you know that you have to do you have to write it down? What does writing down help you with in that resolution?
Writing down, Simba, makes you committed. Simba, let me tell you, maybe you are a bit young, so our time, when someone wanted to marry you, they would write you letters. Our time. These days you guys write texts, short text. Our time, someone will take time, they write the letter, they put the perfume. That shows commitment. It's something you have sat down to think about.
Yes.
But if you don't write something, it's just that writing also helps you to have reference. Where do you refer that, hey, I said I'll do this? If for example, you have someone who is supposed to ensure that you do what you wrote, because it is important also to have someone who helps you in a mentor or something like that. Where will they refer and say, hey, we agreed and you wrote down you're going to do this? And I don't think God was that, God is all wise. And when he said, write down your vision, he knew that many of us die in our dreams, in our heads. Yeah. So you write down so that you can refer. Writing down shows you're committed, because it's not simple work, it's hard work. See, but you've done something and you've taken time to do it. Believe you me, you will do it. But if it's just in your head, you're like, itafanya tu. Yeah.
So another question that I want to pose to you, can you change your resolution? Can you amend it as the year goes by? Because we do know, well, the journey starts, but even the steps that you have to take sometimes would vary. Or is it the process of getting there? What happens if you don't get to achieve it? Can you change it when you realize that, well, maybe I will not get it?
Simba, you know, that is why when you have resolutions or goals, you must do evaluation, you must do monitoring.
Yes.
Monitoring is continuous.
Yes.
So you got to continuously monitor your resolutions, and if need be, then you can redo them. They are not cast on stone. You see, look at 2020. Everybody had resolutions, even organizations had goals. Corona came. I mean, it is only a company that is not serious. I didn't want to say idiotic. It is only a human being that is idiotic that will say, hey, I said I'll do this, I'll not change. Because the environment is changing, Simba. The environment is dynamic. So yes, you can revise, not, let's use the word revise. You can revise your resolutions, you can revise your goals depending on the environment in which you're in. And you, Simba, you'll only be able to do that if you are continuously monitoring. If, for example, you say that I'm going to lose 10 kilos, you need to monitor that every month and see, have I lost 2, 3, 5? What is it that I've been doing that is not working? So monitoring helps you to know what is working, what is not working, and then revise to ensure that now the solution is better and you can achieve it better. Yeah.
Well, this is another question. At what point in the year is it possible to give it a timeline, Dr. and say, well, it's been 6 months, it's been 5 months, it's been 3 months. I don't think I can actually get this. At what point are you allowed to go back and look at your resolutions and say, well, maybe I need to change them in the year?
See, but it depends on what type of resolution it is.
Yes.
You see, resolutions can be financial, can be career, can be social, can be, you know, health related. So it depends on the type of resolution you're talking about. But generally, in my view, 3 months is good enough to know if something is working or not, if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. 3 months is good enough to know whether the strategies you put in place are working. 3 months, I've seen people, for example, using my example, I've seen people saying they have lost 20 kilos in 2 weeks. So 3 months is a good time to tell if it's working or not.
Yes. Another question that I want to pose to you this morning, Dr. Ray, is that you've said that it's important for you to have a mentor, sort of to overlook some of these resolutions that you've put in place. How important is that, and who becomes a proper mentor for your resolution?
See, but you know, in life, you must be accountable to something,
yes,
or to someone,
yes,
for that matter. So if you want really to succeed in this life, not only for resolution, generally in life, you need to be accountable to someone. And that someone that you are accountable to should be someone that you believe in and someone who believes in you. So when you do, when you do your resolutions, when you do your goals, it is important for you to have someone that you are accountable to, someone that will put you to account. Simba, you said you will do 1, 2, 3. What have you done this far?
Yes.
It's also part of monitoring. It's part of knowing whether you are progressing or not. So having someone that you are accountable to, Simba, is one of the most critical things in life. Otherwise, if only accountable to yourself, I don't think you'll go very far in life.
Must this person be above you in terms of what they've achieved in life as well?
Depends on the goal. It depends on your resolutions, you see.
Yes.
If, for example, you have, just an example, if your resolution is health-wise, then you need to have someone who probably understands it better, because again, someone should be able to help you achieve what you want to do. So I would say that the person should be somebody that you believe in. By the way, sometimes people are even accountable to their juniors and they make it. It really depends on the relationship that you have with the person. It depends on exactly what you want to achieve. But at the end of the day, the key thing is you must be accountable to someone who believes in you and who you believe in.
Question that I keep on getting from time to time, Dr. Ray, is how early or how late should you set your resolutions in the year? Some people just wake up on the midnight of the new year, they have their resolutions. What is the process for setting this resolution, and how late or early can you be in setting your resolutions for the year?
See, but there should never be any hurry in setting up your goals or resolutions.
Yes.
But again,
yes,
it is also useless for you to set your resolutions in November. So you
would somebody say that I took this time to know myself before I set that one in the year?
You see, Simba, timing is everything. Eh?
Yes.
In fact, we say in strategy that timing is everything. That's why you hear people saying you can be doing the right thing at the wrong time. You know, so timing is everything, and therefore it is important for you to actually ensure that you set your resolutions or your goals early enough. It doesn't have to be the 1st of January, or it doesn't even have to be January, but I would say that you need to set them early enough. But honestly speaking, you can't be setting resolutions in April for the year, because you should see, you should sit down and setting resolutions, Simba and goals is not as easy as people think. That's why many of them don't have them anymore, because you need to sit, you need to think, you need to see the environment. It's a process, as you say, but timing is everything. Set them as early as you can, but please don't set them 6 months after. That's total laziness.
Now, finally, therefore, let's just open the eyes of anybody who wants to set a resolution. Is there a limit to the number of resolutions that you can set yourself? Achievable number. Is there too little? Is there too much when it comes to setting your resolutions?
Sipa, there is no rule, but this is my own opinion.
Yes.
My opinion is you should not have too many, neither too few.
What is too many in your opinion?
Yeah, that's where I'm coming. Sipa.
Okay.
You see, you need first to decide whether you're gonna have financial, whether you're gonna have career, whether you're gonna have social. I believe if each of those areas you can have between 3 to 5 resolutions, then you are likely to achieve them.
So in all the areas, 3 to 5.
3 to 5 are good enough.
Is somebody going to challenge? Is somebody going to challenge that and say, "Well, I can have as many as I want, and then by the end of the day, I can achieve some of them"?
No, you see, now that is having a negative mentality, a failure mentality. That hey, I have 10, so if I achieve 3, I'll be fine. Whatever you write down, you should achieve. You see, that's why people don't achieve them, because they have that thinking that since I have 10, if I do 3, I'm okay. Why not have 3 and achieve those 3 and achieve them well? Simba.
I totally get you, because I'm looking at mine and I'm saying, well, probably there were actually too many. I should go back and revise them. Well, finally, therefore, Dr. Mary, as we clear this conversation for just starting 2021, why would you advise a business and a person right now, for anybody who doesn't have those resolutions, to go back and say, well, set your goals and resolutions right now? Why is that important?
See, I would advise any business or any person to actually set goals or set resolutions because of several reasons.
Yes.
Number one, you must know where you want to go. You must be able to tell, this is where I am going, and this is how I'll get there. That is number one. Number two, it is very important for any person to set resolutions or goals, or a business for that matter, so that you're able to assess your progress, whether it is as a business, whether it is in life. You need to know, how am I performing? How am I doing this year? Number three, you need to set goals, you need to set resolutions, whether a business or whether a person, because they help you to focus. You'll be more focused in life. You'll be more focused in business. It will help you also to know what are the things that you need to do in life. Because if you say, this is what I want to focus on, then you must be doing things that are in line with what you're doing. Number 4, Simba, any business, any human being should be able to have resolutions and goals because they help you to remain relevant, both in life and outside life. People will, you'll be relevant because you're solving a problem as a business, and for you to solve a problem, you need to know what is happening. And then finally, Simba, the environment is very dynamic. So if you don't know what you are doing, and the environment is changing, you get confused, So if you don't want to get confused this year, you don't want to confuse your customers, to confuse the people around you, you need to have your goals in place, you need to have your resolutions in place, Simba.
Pretty much, Dr. Mary Mugo, thank you very much for sharing with us. Quite a good way to start the year. I know anybody who's listening to you right now, they're looking at their resolutions and asking themselves, are they exactly what I need? For me and the entire Business M team, I would like to speak for them. We wish you a successful 2021. I think successful is going to be happy.
I personally want to wish you a favored 2021. When you're favored, everything else falls in place.
Pretty much. Hopefully, I'll go back right now and revise those resolutions and kickstart my year in a fresh way.
Thank you, Simba, for having me. Thank you so much.
Anytime. That's exactly what we had prepared for you this morning. And now you do know from Dr. Mary Mugo the importance of having those resolutions. And in her opinion, you need to divide them in those areas that you've spoken about. Either financial, either personal, either educational. Then after that, have a manageable number. And she's saying a resolution is something that you got to achieve, not come close to achieving it. What a better way to start 2021. My name is Elijah Charles Kiage. Don't go away. More programming to follow shortly.